No, that's garlic, but these are these are chives.
I used to plant broccoli and spinach and lettuce and all
This is garlic.
Yeah, this is garlic.
That's
So
great.
it,
I learned,
what's on the
and
top?
I enjoy
That
eating
will
these
bloom.
good.
How do you envision the future of your farm?
I have no vision of the future. It's every day, today. Who knows? That's God's plan.
No certain goals in mind.
No goals.
Fair enough. That's good.
I wake up and I think, what do you want me to do today? What's on the docket? Oh, I gotta make cheese. Okay, all right, I'll make cheese. And, the chores, cheese, bread. I don't know. Fermentation. Making kimchi, sauerkraut. If I have the materials. Don't make plans. Future takes care of itself if you do what you need to do today. All I have to do is worry about today.
What are your thoughts on the 50-year plan?
I think that it's very ambitious, and you will be 80 years old when you go to the last state. If you started 2 years ago. I don't know whether you started this year or 2 years ago. But you'll be in your 80s, which means that if you're going to do that and you don't settle down and have a wife and kids, and you're going to move those kids into a different school every single year, they might grow up a little wonky. So you're making these plans, which I see as ambitious and maybe not grounded in, maybe it was something that just came to you in some, you can fill that in. And it sounds good, but it sounds like a very lonely life. It doesn't sound like you want to allow God to develop you in a way that is more settling. Because when you, like I am a potted plant. I was born in China, and I came here, and my father moved us to a different house every year, every 2 years. I went to 3 different high schools, 2 different middle schools, I don't know how many elementary schools, but we were moving, and I never developed long-term friendship. Don't know anything about long-term friendship. Out of sight, out of mind. So once I moved to a new place, new school, I don't remember who I used to be best friends with. Suddenly it's, this person now is my best friend. So I always thought of myself as a potted plant. And the longest I ever lived anywhere was in Taos, New Mexico. I lived there 23 years. And I made friends, and I had roots. And I'm here now. And I've forgotten all my friends in Taos. Do I keep in touch? No. That's an old habit. Potted plants go to the next house, and you water it anywhere. And so I have this sense of being the wanderer because that's the way I was brought up. But I enjoyed being in that one place for 23 years. It really gave me a sense of community, which I never had before. I was part of the Women's Women's Farmers Association. I had a stall in the farmers market that we manned with them, and I had friends that just was somebody that I would keep in touch with all the time for 23 years. I mean, that's amazing for this person who went from one country to another. We lived in Beirut, Lebanon for 3 years, and then came back to the States. So it was just a lot of moving. I did not have a sense of permanency. And this is, I can't tell you how many places I've lived since I became my own person. I've moved several houses in LA, Taos, and now here. But I do like being in one place because it makes me develop as a person in that place. Every place is different. I was a different person. When I went to Taos, I didn't even know how to feed a chicken. I took notes. These people left me chickens and left me goats. How do you feed a goat? Oh, half a what? Oh, cup of, I was writing down notes, half a cup of feed for the chickens. Each chicken gets half a cup of feed. Oh, measuring it all out. And then, well, now, it's like craziness because the fact that I didn't know, because I came from LA to Taos, they had chickens, goats, pheasants, and I inherited them. And I learned through trial and error. A lot of chickens died, the pheasants all died, the goats all died, the wild dog came and killed them all. And I didn't know how to butcher then, so we just threw it away. And then I think back, wow, I've learned a lot because I now know how to kill a goat, skin it, disembowel it, cut it up, put it in the freezer. And I know how to grow a vegetable garden. And that's because I stayed in one place long enough to learn all this and became part of a community. So in terms of your 50-year project and a year in every state, that for me seems like something somebody young would want to do. But at some point in time, I'm hoping that you'll see that you'll find a state that you really like, you'll find a woman that you really like, and you'll settle down. Because you have then gathered enough knowledge from maybe 10 states, okay? Or maybe 5 states. You would have gathered enough experience and knowledge to say, hey, I know how to I got this land. I can do this. I know how to make a vegetable garden grow and feed my son here and take care of my wife. You'll know how to do all those things, and you'll want to. And you might just, because of the experiences you're gathering as a woofer and as a workaway, looks like you're trying to find what niche would be the most comfortable for you, where you can grow. And when you do find it, you're going to want to just stay in one place, because look at the tree, how big an oak tree is. Do you think he travels anywhere? He's huge because he's got his roots down. My little potted plant, I've transplanted, it's gotten bigger, but it's still a potted plant. And the minute I thought I was going to transplant and take roots in Taos, I'm here. It's like, uh-oh, jump back into that pot. So I haven't really planted myself here yet. Yes, I think it's a wonderful idea, but it springs out of youth and inexperience. And as you gather experience, you will want to change, and it's all about change. Don't be afraid of changing, because getting roots and finding a place and growing, a strong, being part of a community is pretty powerful feeling. Yeah. And you are somebody very special, and I think that you can be a really great asset to any community you decide that you want to be in. And you're finding out. Now you're going to the ocean and doing boats and, you know, God knows where else you've been, but you've been all, you know, you just started on this journey, right?
A few years.
2 years?
3, a little over
3? Oh, you'll only be 79 then. But what happens then at 79 or 80, and you've had all this experience under you? What are you gonna, how does that translate then?
I don't worry about that.
No, can't.
It's more about the process,
Process.
the journey.
Yeah. And there's some people that journey all their life and never stay still. And that's perfectly okay. It's not anything bad. You know? And you could be the wandering wise man when you're like 69 or 70 and you're in Kansas. And you could teach those Kansans how to really make good food.
There we go.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Not worried
You
about
don't
it.
know.
Yeah.
You don't know.
No.
Just take one day at a time.
That's right.